for joining me. I am not pulling any punches. We're going straight in. What is the biggest challenge in hospitality in 2026? What is happening?
Oh, hot damn tamale, man. The biggest challenge that you're not pulling any punches. The first thing I was going to say is budgets. That
Mm.
it's struggling. We're here in the US of A, and it's challenging. We don't have as many international travelers these days, and so that's a big struggle right there. Government travel is down. So, and this is not necessarily the wedding industry
No, but
part of it, but
hospitality.
yeah, but hospitality in general here in the US, we are struggling, with budgets. I
Yeah.
would say that the for the last since 2019, the labor market has been our number one challenge.
Right.
And that with job losses and things like that, the job market isn't as lucrative for the employee anymore.
Mm.
So we are having less challenge staffing our teams, but I would say meeting budget right now, last year and this year is the biggest concern.
My goodness. And with the hotels you work with, you're a hotel girl like me,
Yes.
right? So with
Yes.
the hotels that you work with, what are some of the things you're working on with them? Like, what are some of those top priorities right now?
Well, I'm an operations guru. Okay. So I really support hotels with saying yes, um,
Yes.
having unforgettable, extraordinary guest experience, also increasing your sales through yes, because how many times does a client say to you, we'd like to have glitter on all the tables? And the first thing we want to say is, no, I'm sorry, unfortunately. So I really help people say yes, their operations from maintenance to cleaning, housekeeping to all of the full operational process. So I really help people change to that yes leadership, help them be confident with mindset, be empowered with strategy, and lead from the heart. Every
Oh,
day,
I
every
love
time you say yes, you can change the world. And sometimes it's your own world.
it.
So, yes.
I love it. Now, if our listeners have not worked it out, you also are a keynote speaker, which comes across with your energy.
Does
But
it?
when
That's so
did you
nice.
first get into the hospitality industry? Where did this all start? Take us back.
Oh, I love that. So it started when I was 17 years old, and I was
Which was
the
just a few years ago, right?
only a couple. Yes, yeah, only a couple. Actually, this month is my 39th year in hospitality. Yes, 39 years ago this month, I started at the Hampton Inn Hotel as a van driver slash laundry girl. Yes, yes. And a year later, at 18 years old, they made me their assistant general manager for their new hotel they were opening.
Wow.
So I started as a manager, as an assistant general manager at 18 years old, and then I just kept growing and growing and growing to bigger and bigger things. And now today, I travel the world sharing my energy and my yesatality to help people to stand tall, be empowered, and lead from the heart. And but this is the big thing I love to share with people is that when you in our industry, we welcome everyone. If you show up with the right attitude and the right effort, you can take this career as high as you dream.
Yeah.
And I am proof of that. I started in high school at 17, and now I'm traveling the world, published author. That's what happens when you show up to your world, your job, your people with a great attitude.
Now, I imagine that across all of these hotels you've worked in over the last 39 years,
Mhm.
you have a story or two to share.
Yes, I sure do.
What was one, like when we think back and we always say we could write a book, like you did, but I mean we could write a book of our memoirs, of our memories, right?
Yes.
What's one or two of those stories that like always pop into your mind?
Yes, well, there are so many, but because I'm talking to you, my sweet Kelly, and you are the wedding girl, I have a two actually. I'll give you one if we want to go into more, we can. But I have two wedding stories from when I was a catering manager. At one point, I was a catering manager. My first time as a catering manager was with Knickers. It was a catering venue, a restaurant in Ballroom. And then there was what I was a catering manager at the Northbrook Hilton, which is a very affluent, mostly Jewish community,
Love
very high
Jewish weddings.
end. weddings and whatnot. So I have two really great wedding stories. You want
Share
one?
them with us. No one's listening. It's just me and you.
Just me and you. Okay. So we had this stunning black tie wedding in one ballroom. Elegant huppah, string quartet, crystal everywhere, chandeliers, you name it. 2 days before the event, the sales director, unbeknownst to the catering team, booked a last minute large meeting next door to this beautiful wedding.
Oh my
It
goodness.
was the Chicago Public Housing Authority Community Forum.
Oh,
Now, I want you to think, yes, you might not know what that is. I'm here in Chicago, by the way. And the Chicago Public Housing Authority, that you might want to think that is open microphones, passionate residents, strong debates. The Chicago Public Housing helps low income
sure.
people have housing.
Yeah.
So this was a very
It's a hot topic, right?
hot
People have
topic.
things to say about this. Yeah.
Yes. The contrast between the wall of these two rooms
Was this a
was,
soundproof wall?
we thought it was.
Oh my goodness.
So
Was the wedding okay about this? Did it kick
they,
off? Or?
well, they didn't know. And I'm going to be quite honest, very candidly. The catering team didn't even realize that booking happened. So we didn't even realize what we were walking into till that day. We didn't
Oh,
even realize that last minute booking. So now during the ceremony, the volume escalated next door in the housing authority room, and they were trying to have their ceremony. We often did ceremonies because we'd have mixed religion
ah,
weddings. And so we had one of those and they were having their ceremony. So at one point, a potentially overserved brother of the bride decided that he would personally solve the problem. And he burst into the neighboring ballroom yelling for everyone to quiet down.
oh
Now, this did not go as planned. So within seconds, we had this shouting, pushing. Groomsmen and other guests from the wedding were coming in to break things up. It was separating people. It turned into quite the ballroom brawl.
no.
And there I was in my heels and my pink suit, trying to salvage my bride's dream wedding.
Yeah.
So it got broken up pretty quickly, but not before the groom's brother earned himself a black eye that showed
Oh,
up in the wedding photos.
oh no.
Yeah. Now, I'm sure that today those photos and that story in their family is legendary.
Yeah.
But in the
And they'll
day, it
be
was
like, and you remember that catering manager with the pink suit?
exactly
I
the one
wonder,
that
I
always said
always
whoop
wonder
whoop.
like how many times we feature in people's like family stories. You know what I mean? Because for sure
Exactly.
it's many.
Yes, exactly. And also I was walking my puppies with my bunny this morning. I call my husband Bunny. And I was telling him about our chat and I was like, and he's like, I never heard you tell me this story. I'm like, I must have. It's just been so long. But I said, being a catering manager is also when I knew I wanted to become a mama.
Really?
Yes, and I can remember it. I literally, Kelly, like I'm sitting at my old desk at the Hilton, and I remember I have goosebumps. I can even see the suit I was wearing. A woman came in to plan her brand new baby's christening.
Oh.
And she was sitting at my desk and she had her baby in the car seat. I'm goosing up everywhere. And she was just talking about her plan. And I had already been married, I think 3 years. And I'm my career and I had no interest in having babies right away. I got married at 22, so I was a little one.
You want some time?
Yeah, yeah. And so I was waiting. But then this moment, she came in with that baby, and I could hardly focus on our conversation because I kept going back to the baby. And I literally had this moment, it's time. And I'm telling you, a month later, I was pregnant.
No, so
Yes.
fast.
Yes, that was in October. I was pregnant in November.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
So, so the Jewish wedding with the housing association was a story that holds up. What other memories do you have of
I
your
do have one other really good one. Of all the weddings, these were the two that were like they stick in my mind.
Go on.
So this one was a very special one. This was at Knickers Catering. Okay. And so we went, she was a bride who called an all staff meeting before her wedding. Now, not just
I mean, I have to be
myself.
honest, that would be me. I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
gonna need everybody sitting around this table so we can have an agreement.
That is hilarious. Yeah, that would not definitely not be me. I'd be like, oh yeah, handle it. Yeah. So she wanted this all staff meeting, the manager, she wanted the captain, she wanted the servers, everyone to be at this meeting. So not just the planner. So the entire team was there, and she wanted us all to understand something very important, that she was a prima ballerina.
Oh,
And she wanted to make sure, did we understand what that meant?
oh,
Yes.
oh,
Oh,
because
so
because
she
obviously us
explained.
in hospitality, we are not so well cultured.
Exactly, exactly. And quite honestly, I did not know that. It sounded pretty fancy, but I did not know. So she went on to explain that the prima ballerina is the lead dancer, the star, years of elite training, precision, discipline, art, all of that stuff. And she said because of that, she was going to be doing a performance at the reception as a gift for her new groom.
Got it.
So she wanted to make sure that when this happens, everything needs to stop. No trays, no moving, no glasses clinking, no servers walking, total stillness for the prima ballerina. And we all said,
And
of
everybody's
course,
like, okay, we get
absolutely.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yes, 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 yes. So fast forward to the reception. The DJ announces a surprise for the groom. The music begins. The room goes silent, and she enters in
Oh,
full performance
oh,
mode. And
oh,
her husband is not smiling.
oh.
In fact, he looks pretty stunned and irritated, and
He
maybe
did.
some might
He
have
was
even.
embarrassed, or
Maybe a little bit of that, but it was irritation and almost flat out anger that you kind of like see, like I almost felt tension. So when she finishes, the room gives the applause. And the next thing you know, though, the bride and groom are in this huge fight,
oh,
literally fight in front of everybody, left the room. Now, I honestly, this is so long ago. I'm trying to remember how it all ended. And I can't remember.
oh.
I know that the reception went on, but I can't remember how they overcame, because it was, everybody knew
Yeah, yeah,
that
yeah. It
it was
wasn't
a gift.
quiet. It was the drama couple.
Yes, yes. And so that was the day I learned that not every surprise is a gift.
No. I
But those
love it.
are the two that stick in my head so clearly.
And
Yeah.
I understand you were, let me get this right, nominated as like the best general manager. Is that right? Have I got that?
Thank you. I did win General Manager of the Year for Marriott International.
Yeah. For Marriott. I mean, that's not
Yes.
a small award. That's pretty, you know,
No. It
that's
was
pretty
it was
steady.
It was pretty freaking huge for me, anyways. This little 17-year-old that started as a van driver, a laundry girl.
Yeah.
It was a massive honor, and I also had the honor to bringing our hotel team to winning Hotel of the Year,
Wow.
which was a different hotel team, but than when I won General
And
Manager of the
what
Year.
kind
But
of challenges did you have to overcome to get there? Like, surely you're not talking about having the perfect hotel and you're like, oh, here we are, we're perfect, and
yeah,
let's have an award, right? So
yeah.
I'm guessing there was some challenges.
You know what? I'd love to share this with you because this is such a great message for everybody. So at this hotel where I won General Manager of the Year, when I took it over, it was a red zone property for Marriott.
And
They
for
were in
those that
jeopardy.
don't know what that means, can you share?
Yeah, let me tell you, that means below the brand threshold. They
Right.
could have potentially lost their flag, their
The
Marriott
branding.
flag,
Yeah.
because their guest experience scores were too low.
Wow.
So that everybody that I knew that knew this region of hotels and this hotel said, I'm going to have to turn the whole team. It's toxic. And so, but going in, I always observe, I see what we've got. And honestly, they were diamonds underneath
Oh,
the dirt.
yeah.
Okay. They
Yeah.
really were. They just needed to be loved.
Oh.
So within 6 months of taking over this hotel, we not only got out of red zone, we went to green zone. Not only did we go to green zone, we were in the top 5% of the entire brand. We were a Courtyard hotel, and there's over 1,000 Courtyard hotels. We were in the top 5%. Yeah. We were number one on TripAdvisor, which was the biggest deal back then.
Yeah.
And our revenue was incredible. Now, what I haven't shared with you is that hotel was 30 years old. It needed a renovation,
Yeah.
and it was in a very depressed area about an hour out of Chicago.
Oh, that's
We
super
had
challenging.
super challenging. We had every excuse in the book to say
Yes.
why we weren't.
Yes. And don't we see this all the time? Oh, but it's for this reason, it's for that reason, and it's because of this. And if this was different,
It's your mindset. When you believe and you love your product, no
yeah.
matter how it is,
Yeah.
then you live it. How you view it is how you do it.
Yeah.
And
It's so true. It's so true. I'm
yes,
gonna share with you when I first worked in hotels, it was in destination, right? And
yes,
I got sent to a 3-star hotel in the Dominican Republic 25 years ago, right? So you can imagine this was
yes.
not the fancy schmancy hotels we see in the Dominican in Punta Cana now, right? Like
Mhm.
this was in the north. It was this cute little 3-star. It was a locally owned chain, right? So this is not even like a Spanish chain or
That
anything.
has money.
But I was so fresh-faced and I was so like, oh my God, I just left England and now I'm in the Caribbean. And I just thought this was the best hotel I'd ever seen. And part of my role was to sell. And I sold the backside off that hotel, right? Because I just thought it was amazing. And they were all so shocked about the results.
Right?
And I was like,
Right?
well, what are you shocked about? It's such an easy hotel to sell. And everybody was like, but this hotel has never seen those kind of numbers. And it's like I had blinkers on, rose tinted glasses. I thought it was
Right.
the best thing ever. And that came through and we just sold. We just sold
Ex-
money. Like
That's
who's getting
it.
cash?
And then when you love the team and you give them this gift of that we get to change the world every day, that we get to do this every day. And I'll tell you three things. One, yes mindset.
Mm,
Two, huddle, which you
yeah.
might know it by a different word. Maybe it's pre-shift, maybe it's
Mm.
your however you call it. That's the number one thing we do every day. There is nothing that will give you better results than that 15-minute pre-shift meeting.
What do
Nothing.
you do in your huddles that's so magical? Because I've been in some huddles that are absolutely rubbish, right? We just list off
Yes.
all the things we're going to do today. And I'm like,
Yes.
no, there's no joy there. So why are
Yes.
your huddles so magical?
I'm so glad you asked me. This is one of my favorite things to talk about. So I will tell you in a really quick snap of I have a whole masterclass on
I'm
it.
sure you do.
And yes, but I'm going to tell you quickly. Let me ask you, Kelly,
Hmm.
what do you think is the number one reason people leave a job?
They don't feel valued.
Exactly. It's a no-brainer. That has been statistically proven for
Yeah,
decades.
yeah,
That is the number one reason people leave a job. They don't feel
yeah,
valued and they're not recognized.
yeah.
And this is the first thing we miss in Huddle because we're also focused on what we need to get done and what we need to
Yes.
get better.
To-do list.
Yes, exactly. So recognition. And then I read an article that after recognition, the next three things that the number one reasons people leave a job are they don't have information to do my job well.
Yeah.
I don't get coaching and training to grow and learn and become and be better. And I don't know, they didn't put it in this words, but of all the words that came
Paraphrase.
back, this is what it came up with. I don't have goals.
Ooh,
And let me break that one down. People who feel good at their job, love their job, stay in their job, grow in their job.
yeah.
And when you give your people Goldilocks goals, I think you've talked about Goldilocks
Good,
goals
better,
before
best.
too. Yeah, yeah, and also goals that are enough that will stretch you a little, make
Mm.
you maybe a little uncomfortable, but easily enough to do, makes you feel successful. So
Mm.
when I realized this, I said, hot damn tamale, man, this is what we need to do in our huddles. These are the four reasons people leave a job. And if we want a culture that is award winning, this is what we need to do and invest in our team every day. Coach them on something, tell them what they're doing right, give them recognition.
Because we only tell them what they're doing wrong, right? Oh, you missed the spot.
Exactly.
Oh,
Ex
that customer wasn't happy. Oh, the bill was wrong. Like we just
ex
constantly like whipping them.
exactly. And this is so funny. I'll ask leaders all the time, which one do you think is easier to compliment a team member or to criticize and find something
Well, it's
wrong
easier
with?
to criticize because we're human beings, right? And we do that so easily.
Yes, but most leaders will say, "Oh, it's much easier to give a compliment." And because it is, you feel good giving compliments,
Oh,
but
you
we don't do it because
don't do
that's
it.
not what noticed. So
Yeah.
I'll show them a picture of a garbage can that was clean. The bag is tucked in. You don't see
Mhm.
the underwear hanging out,
Yeah.
and it looks nice. I say, "Did if you ever pulled up your houseman and brought him back to this garbage can to say, 'This looks amazing, Joe?'" And they're like, no. I said, but if there was the bag hanging out, if it was filthy, it was
Right.
overflowing, you'd go find Joe, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you're doing these four things every day in your huddle, you're building leaders that don't need you, that are empowered, that are standing tall, confident. Give information, coach them, recognize them, and then leave them with a goal. What will they go do? Then they come
Mhm.
back the next day, tell you how they did it, and you go, gosh, you're so good at this job. Yes or yes?
Yes. So where have you seen the opposite? Like where have you maybe gone in or had team members or like senior, department heads of department, and you've had to either coach them or maybe even remove them because their attitude, their style was so the opposite of what you've just described?
Yes. um, oh, there's so many examples I can go here,
Is
but
that, yeah. Because I've
but
seen a ton of bad managers in my life, right?
yes,
And good ones as well, of course, but the couple of bad ones, oh, they stand out.
yes. And again, 80% of your results are your mindset. 20% of your results are your strategy. I can give you strategy all day long. I can
Yeah,
tell you the strategy of the
yeah.
huddle, and this is not fluff. A lot of especially gentlemen, sorry gentlemen, but a lot of gentlemen think it's the fluffy things like people like me with my personality do.
Mm.
But it's strategy. But I can give you the strategy of huddle and you can show up. But if you're showing up with the wrong mindset, this is fluff, this is a waste of my
Yeah.
time. That's how you view it is how you do
It's
it.
the same in weddings, Christine, right? If
Yeah,
I
oh, I
go
know.
in and the GM is like, "Oh my God, weddings is so fluffy, there's no strategy," then they're not listening to what I'm saying, which is pure strategy. And they just
Mm-hmm.
think, "Oh, it's the wedding coordinator, she's the fluffy one." And no, you're not. It's a market. The same as
It,
spa, food and beverage, accommodation. It's a market. It's not
yes.
fluffy.
Yes. And it's a massive market.
Yes, but
Yes.
so many have that mindset.
Yes.
Right?
And here I'll throw this out to you. I actually do this in my keynote where I talk about it's the mindset. If I say, oh yeah, they're such a bridezilla,
Yes.
or oh, they're just a basic member,
Yeah.
or oh, we've got a sports group of hockey players coming in. We all have this negative mindset. And
Yeah.
even if we are just talking behind the front office
Oh, yeah.
about it,
Yeah.
you are infecting your team
The team.
members
I've
with that
seen it
toxicity.
happen. It's so
Hmm.
bad. I've seen it happen.
Yes. So
And
if
I
I were to come out with that prima ballerina, and I'm so sorry, I kind of paused
no,
there.
go
Sorry.
ahead. Go ahead.
If I were to come out with that prima ballerina and tell everybody, oh, we got this prima ballerina, everyone's going to treat her that way, whether we realize it or not.
No. No, because
How
they
you view it,
lead
is how you do it.
by example, right? Like if they see what you're doing, I actually see this at my son's school. He has such a brilliant
Mhm.
headmaster, such a brilliant headmaster. Like that man, come rain, snow, he's in the car park waving to the parents every morning, right?
I
And so
love
he's
that.
not expecting his team to stand out in the rain whilst he's in his cozy, warm office. That man is out there with his umbrella, saying hi to the parents, helping the kids out the cars. And I'm like, I know you do that all day long at school because I can see that you're leading from the front. And
Yes.
all of the staff have such good attitude. And I know it's because of him, right?
Yes.
Because we follow
Yes.
what our leader is showing
Hmm.
us. If you show me that we don't care, we're not going to do it, then I'm not going
That's for
to do
you
that,
to do. Yes.
right? What I was
Hmm.
going to say when we jumped over each other was, you know how when corporate buyers come in the hotel, we pull out all the stops, right? We have
Mm.
cupcakes made with their logos on it, and like
Yes.
whatever you need, like we're here for it. And
Mhm.
everybody's told, oh my goodness, this big bank is coming, and they're gonna, book out all the rooms and whatever. you could have a wedding with the same prospective revenue and the like the huddle or the equivalent, it's like, oh yeah, there's a couple coming, whatever. Like no one cares, nobody knows their names, there's no cupcakes with their names on it, and yet the
Right.
revenue is the same.
Right. And in probably a shorter amount of time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Now,
It
this
leads
is
from the front because the GMs who care about the weddings, then suddenly everybody's standing to attention. They all know that, Molly and Bill are coming for their show round. Like it's from the front.
exactly. And when you're leading from the heart, you want to always create that unforgettable experience. And it doesn't take a lot of extra money. I'm working with three select brand hotels right now, and we just did one-on-ones with each hotel yesterday, and we looked at all their groups coming in.
Mm,
And one of them has a soccer group coming in this week. And so we put together a World Cup soccer quiz, and she went and created this big snack pack. And for the kids, these are like 8 and 10-year-old kids. And if they do the quiz, they're going to be a random draw for the snack pack. Do you think anybody's doing that for little soccer kids? No, they're like, oh, soccer kids are here.
yes.
So now they're going to become their biggest advocate. They're going to treat the hotel better. They're going to leave it
Yeah.
cleaner. They're going to treat the people better.
Oh,
Make friends first. And yes is the answer. The first step is to pause and make friends first. In everything we do, if we just pause and connect and make friends first, everything goes better from there.
it's so true. It's so true.
Yes.
What's maybe a manager that you've had at some point that maybe didn't show you by example and you have learned from that or you decided to do it differently?
I can think of one particularly. I've had a lot of amazing leaders,
Mm,
but I did learn from a few people what not to do, and that almost stays with me
yeah.
harsher than
Yeah.
what to do.
Yeah.
And a lot of that was more culturally, like
Mm,
um, the way they led with favoritism and
okay.
tribalism, almost like the
Yeah.
cool kid, like kind of like that kind of stuff.
Mm,
um very much so. And then in the same turn, I can say that that person also gave me one of my best leadership lessons that helped me to propel to a corporate level at Marriott.
yes.
So because all the things I used to do, I'll be very quite candidly, I channeled them through myself, meaning we ladies are often, we overdo everything, don't we? We have to do it all. We have to prove ourselves that we can do it all. So often I would do all the things without involving others,
Mm,
not because I wanted to hog it all, but
oh,
because I felt like I had to do it all. Otherwise, I was a slacker. But
yeah.
I learned from him that without getting the buy-in and getting other people to do that, then you don't get the buy-in from people. And
Yeah.
if they don't understand, I don't understand why they're not doing this program. I don't understand why they're not doing this because I didn't include them in it. And
Yeah.
then I had to come to that realization because I'm like, well, but that's my job. Why they're not asking me to do their job? Well, they have so much to do too. But my role involved them, and so I needed to include them. And that was a big shift for me. And then
Mm.
when I became the senior manager of operations with Marriott International, and I supported over almost 500 properties across the country.
Whoa, you had
Yeah.
500 properties?
Yes, and I supported them in an operations way with guest
Wow.
experience and whatnot. So it's
Wow.
not like I was there day to day, but
No,
I
no,
I was
but you're
across the
still
country.
the same when I had my 45 hotels. You're still
Yes.
responsible for that corner of the market, but 500.
Yes, yes. And basically I was in charge of getting hotels out of the red zone. If any of our hotels fell into the red zone, but then I'd also do trainings where everybody could tune in and stuff like that. So I supported over about 500 hotels. But I never would have been able to move into a role like that had I not seen how to influence better.
Mm,
And so the same person I learned how not to be a leader also gave me some of my best. Yeah. So Learn from
Because we all
everybody.
have strengths and weaknesses. No one person
Yes.
is wholly bad, right? Like everybody
Right.
has their good and negative pieces. So that's amazing that you were able to
Yeah.
take different things. You
Hmm.
mentioned there about being a female, which obviously we are. Have you ever found that to be challenging? Like, has that ever held you back or that people have looked at you differently? Because I know I've had my moments where, yes, weddings, but also kind of being a woman I've had to over prove myself occasionally.
Yes. And you are very similar to me. We have big personalities.
We're gonna get it
And
done. Things are gonna
yeah,
happen.
and that's exactly what I was going to say. With my personality, I have been underestimated in
Oh,
every turn. Underestimated in every turn. And it only takes very short amount of time and I'm blowing it away.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I remember when I was hired for Key Lime Cove Water Resort, it was a new concept and it was an independent product. It was this big, huge water park resort outside of Chicagoland. And I was hired as the director of fun. My sign is right over on the side over here, director of fun. And I was going to plan all the fun things and the guest experience things and run the arcade and the funtivities and all that. And then shortly, everybody's talking about how we are going to be number one this, number one that. And I started asking questions. Well, how are all of our team members going to know what it is to be a key limer, what that means, how to
Mm.
say yes, how to give all extraordinary guest experience? And I kept asking the questions, and I'm like, who's in charge of that? And look, I'm like, I'll do it. I'll do it.
Yeah.
I'll do it. And soon my role completely changed. I did the whole director of fun stuff, but I also became the director of crew member experience. I
Oh, I
created
love
the
that crew member experience and
yes,
guest experience.
yes.
Yes.
And I was the director of fun of that. But so I created the entire huddle culture, which we called it the daily revival. I created the onboarding training. I trained
Love
every
it.
person for 4 years that walked into our building. So I got to do all this stuff. And pretty soon my office went from the basement to the front next to the GM. And so like the every turn I have always my whole career, 39 years, always been underestimated. And then you just prove them wrong.
I
So if
love
you're a big personality like me, keep proving them wrong.
that. Has there been a day, okay, you started when you were 17. Has there been a day where you've thought, you know what, hotels, it's not for me?
There's not a person in our industry that doesn't go home at one point and say, God, what the frick else can I do? There's not a person, especially when you're in operations, because it is literally 24/7. You're coming in for night audits. There's call offs every day. I remember becoming a catering manager and saying, I will never go back to operations.
Oh, really?
And of course, that was a lie. It always pulls me back because I do love it, but I love everything I do. I love all of it. But there's not a person that hasn't thought that. But even through the pandemic, so many people left our industry.
Yeah.
They had to, but so many of them come back. It's in our
Yeah.
blood. It's who we are. We are not the type of people, and this might be politically incorrect to say, but pretty much we're all ADHD. We cannot sit in a cubicle all day. We need to be bouncing around and doing multiple things and
I
right.
love it. I love it. And
So
what
it's
would you
just who
have
we are.
done? Like in an alternative universe, what would you have done as a career?
I would have loved to have planned all the fun activities at one of the sports arenas. And I'm not sporty at all. I do not like sport. I care less about sports. But I would have loved to have been the person that plans all the fun activities the kids do and stuff like that.
Oh, that would have been
I
fun.
I would have loved to have done that. I don't know what else I would have done. Probably sales or I honestly I have no idea.
What would you say to someone who's like thinking of starting a career in hotels right now?
One, I would say that it's an amazing opportunity and it's a great time because the jobs are still out there. It's not like it
Mhm.
was since 2019, but the
Sure.
jobs are opportunities are out there. And like I said, when you show up with the right energy, the right attitude, you can take this career as high as you dream, and it goes quickly. The minute they start to see you're a performer,
That's true.
they see you in the next role. They see you
Yeah.
in the always be
Yeah.
performing for
Shining
the role
stars.
you want to have. Yes.
Yeah.
Never not it's not my job. It's always I'll do it. It's always I'll do it. And you will get the goods if you show up for it.
What do you think that a big myth is around working in hotels that people who aren't hotel people think?
Two things. One, that it's very low paying. And
True. Yeah,
yes,
and like some of that is true, right? Like
yes,
there are roles on ground level that can be lower paid, but there are some amazingly paid roles.
yes. And that's the point I want to say. Entry level is going to be pretty low pay.
Sure.
But if you show up for it, you will grow very, very
Yeah.
quickly because it's a high turnover industry. So you will
Yes.
grow very quickly and
Yeah.
you can
That's
grow
exactly
into
what happened to me. My initial salary,
same.
I mean, I laughed when they told me what it was. I was like, I can't live off that. What are you talking about?
I think as an AGM in this was in like 1989, I was making $12,000 a year.
Oh
And
my
I worked probably 80 hours a week.
God, for sure. Wowza.
Yes, 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 yes. So ridiculous. But you will grow into a very if you're showing up for it and you're
Yeah.
performing,
Mm.
you can grow into a very lucrative salary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh
hmm
my goodness.
the second
And the
thing,
second myth, yes.
yeah, the second myth is that it's complete burnout.
Mm.
And here's
I
what I'll
think
say
we've got
about that.
better, right? We've got better in our industry with this.
Yes and no. There
Okay.
are companies that I think respect boundaries and whatnot, and there are companies that do not. They're still very much in the 1980s, 90s.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
I see both.
Mm.
But if you are managing your time properly, like a lot of the things that you teach in your club and the things I teach in my club about delegation, about calendar blocking,
Yeah.
about if you are managing your time properly, you do not have to be living in constant burnout. You
Mm.
do not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. Christine, what should I have asked you that I haven't asked you during our conversation?
I love that question. You asked me all my favorites, honestly. I love that. I guess where they can get the book. If you want to learn more
Yes,
about
where can you get Christine's book?
it's on Amazon. You can get it on Amazon. And if you're here in the States, you wouldn't want to do it in the UK. But if you want a signed copy, I can send you a signed copy. But it's on Amazon, and it's my 4 steps to always say yes and have unforgettable hospitality. And this is not just for your customer; it's for your team and for yourself.
I love that. And
Yeah.
where should people come and find you and see you? Like, where do we see you online?
I've got a YouTube. The website's thewisepineapple.com. You know what, Kelly? If there's time, maybe explaining the pineapple.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Explain us the pineapple.
So my company's called The Wise Pineapple. You see my pineapple earrings, pineapple everywhere. The reason why I called it the Wise Pineapple first is the pineapple, if you may not know, has been the symbol of hospitality for centuries. Centuries. Pineapple. You'll see it in hotels and lamps and wallpaper, insignias. But the pineapple is a symbol of hospitality. And every masterclass, every teaching that I do, it first starts with confidence. So, just like being a pineapple, I want to help you to lead like a pineapple. Stand tall and be confident. Wear your crown and be empowered and be sweet on the inside and lead from the heart. So, it's all about being confident, empowered, and leading from the heart, which is
So
the
nice.
pineapple.
I love that. So good.
Yes.
And
Fun.
you're on LinkedIn, you're on Instagram. We'll put all the links in the show
Yes.
notes. And if people want to drop into your DMs and find out how they can work with you, then I'm sure you will chat to them further. Christine, thank you
Absolutely.
so much for joining me. This has been amazing.
Kelly, I miss you so much and thank you so much. And Kelly's going to be on my podcast too. So come see her there.
Next episode coming soon.